Hello fellow human, welcome back to another Dank Doggo r/malicious compliance. So our story for today is from u/pugpunkbc with the title of Boss Breaks His Own Policy and He Pays the Price. Hey all, glad to be here. A bit of background is necessary to sweeten the compliance. I work in the hospitality industry in a small town fed by tourists. This sadly leaves the issues for businesses trying to find a reliable employees. To try and incentivize those people to find work in town, every business is raising its wages to keep people who actually do their job. Even the Golden Ark Burger chain starts at $9 an hour. So when I got hired here, I went through all the paperwork, signed all the documents, reviewed all the policies of a business trying to act far more professional than it actually was. I was given policy booklets, signed that I read them, and set on my way through training. All is well for a while, until the HR staff was cut. Now, as it goes in this particular business, any responsibility that could be taken out by the general manager is given to the general manager. He runs the housekeeping, maintenance, groundwork, scheduling, dining/wait staff, hiring and firing. If you can think of an error behind the scenes, he runs it. He is also my direct boss, so I'm a good noodle. I work the night shift solo. I actually showed up on the days I'm scheduled. I show up on time. I do my job even. I have received nothing but positive reviews from my boss and his boss. But we are not here to celebrate these achievements. We are here to celebrate what happened when I told him no. In the summer of last year, I was out of town picking up the girlfriend from the airport after she had a wonderful trip to Belize. We had a good weekend doing things couple likes to do, when right after eating my favorite pizza, I felt my stomach rejecting the food I had eaten. The next dozen hours were brutal. I emptied more out of me than I thought my body could hold. Obviously, I was sick. I could barely pack my bags in the next morning, let alone actually move them to the car. It's still bright and early, not long past dawn, when I realized I'm gonna need a day to recover. So I contact my boss. I laid it out for him, and for the first time in over a year and a half, let him know that my shift at night needs to be covered. The policy book I had read like a good employee told me that calling in sick is okay. Calling in sick for one day doesn't require a note, only the second and consecutive days would. I wouldn't have go to a doctor for a note because it's only one day, so I can rest and come back in as good as new. But I wouldn't be posting here if I got off work that easily, would I? He told me I would either have to work or I would have to get a doctor's note. After 18 months or more, never calling in sick, covering every shift I was asked to, he picks now to treat me like a child. Alright, mays as well. So I go to one of those urgent care clinics. Nurse gives me a 2-minute consultations, sends me out with prescription strength anti-nausea meds and 3 copies of a doctor's note. Because you're dang right, I'm keeping my own copy. I read the note and it states, OP is sick and cannot perform job duties for 5 days. Signed, Doc. Why not? I showed him a picture of a note and radio silence. Now this man works 9 to 5. He does not work the nights. I have another coworker who does my job on my day off, so I expect him to have been called in that night. After the radio silence, and since I was still up that night anyway, I prepared my 2 weeks notice just in case they're going to try and make me work anyway. I go into work with a copy of the doctor's note and my notice to meet the people at the shift change. To my surprise, I saw my boss and he looked like poop. He looks at me confused as to why I'm here. Before he spoke, I handed him the note, not my notice yet, and said, "Glad you're here, and hi receptionist. Boss, here's a copy of my doctor's note. Figured I would drop this off in person since you didn't reply to me in the last 8 hours or so. Can I go home and rest now? Boss, I can't believe you're actually sick. Guess I will see you next week." receptionist. Hope you feel better. And with that, I left. The next several days were spent recovering, sleeping an ungodly amount. I'm really glad I listened to the doc. The aftermath of this whole event isn't very exciting, but it was satisfying. The next Tuesday, a week after the incident, I was pulled into the office. I was asked why I requested so many days from the doc, how it hurt him to feel all those nights, etc. I gave him the honest reply. Doc didn't ask how long I needed. I just asked for doctor's note, and I was handed that. I still have a couple of copies if you lost one. He started to protest, saying I should have corrected Doc, but I stopped him. Get a copy of the policy book, would ya? He did. Turn to the attendance policy and read out the portion about sick days and doctor's note. Boss. Oh. Me. Yep. So if you keep pestering me about this, I'm going to go to the owner, his boss, and ask to be compensated for the cost of that clinic visit, and ask that you be reprimanded for not following your own policies. Or you can let me do my job and not treat me like a child forward. That spells the end of that conversation, and I wasn't bothered again. Still gave me my 2 weeks soon after, cause screw that guy. After reading this story and many others from r/MaliciousCompliance, I kinda figured that awful bosses kinda just love to pick on hard-working employees that doesn't call in for sick leaves for like over a year. Most of the time, bosses just think they are all that important and have that strong urge and desire to overpower their subordinates. Love to see OP just shut his boss' mouth with a doctor's note and the awareness of the working policy. Wasted some hefty sum of money though. Visiting clinic, especially private ones, are usually quite costly. But then again, the results are great. If I were his boss, I wouldn't ever mess with OP again. And now for the comments. We had the first comment by u/Sir Rata. Every day this sub never ceases to astound me is how so many bosses think it's a smart idea to crap on their best, most hardworking employees. Agreed! Yeah, I don't know why they just keep acting like this. The OP replied, not gonna lie, I'm not that hardworking. I get paid to sit on my butt and play games or Reddit for 2/3 of my shift. There isn't much for me to do, but it's unbelievable how many people quit this position. I've trained probably 8 people in my time working here. And while I was gone, several more were trained and left. Perhaps because people find it to be boring and unproductive, I guess. And maybe the wages aren't very attractive too. u/Optimal Redbeard shared, I binge watched so many shows when I worked night audit. It was ridiculous. Books too. When 3/4 of your shift is just you and an empty lobby, you find your ways to fill the time. The only reason I left was because I was offered a better job at a better hotel. User Yamaha 2000 US gave their thoughts. When you're a doctor and have to put something in writing, you err on the side of the caution. A doctor does not want to get pulled into jackbuttery because some kind of note. u/Shalamanda Dindong commented, I wonder how often doctors pull a malicious compliance and prescribe more sick days than realistically needed, just as an FU to a company needing a note. The OP replied that, I'm not sure how often it happens, but man, I'm glad I got more than one day I asked for. The OP replied that, not gonna lie, kinda wish I didn't work, because all the days I missed, plus the appointment was like $450 I was missing out on. That's it for today, fellow humans. Thanks for watching. Dank Doggo appreciates your time. If you enjoy our content and want to see more of us, stay tuned and subscribe. Don't forget to smash that like button or doggo will cry. Also, you can always tell us your doggo comments, your experiences in the comment section. I will catch up with you guys later in the next video.